Have you ever desperately wanted a fruit, game pass, or permanent fruit of your dreams? Well, in this tutorial, I will show you how to get your dream fruits, game passes, and permanent fruits with the trading method. And I will divide this video into 5 parts, to give you an in-depth and useful guide to trading. But firstly, trading, to put it simply, is where you exchange your stored fruits with another person's stored fruits. You can also trade your stored game passes, permanent fruits, and vice versa. In order to trade with another person, you will need to be at either the second or third sea. But I highly recommend you to trade in the second sea, since the third sea is mostly for people who PvP and bounty hunt. But next, you will have to be in the cafe, if you're in the second sea, or the mansion if you're in the third sea. Next, you will have to sit down in one of these seats, and you'll have to wait for someone to sit in the seat in front of you to initiate the trade. And in order to accept a trade, you will need to have a 40% price difference. Also, you are limited to 5 trades every 12 hours. But that is what trading is, and that is how you trade with another player. But before you trade, you will need a decent fruit base. And by that I mean having a decent fruit stored in your inventory like Rumble, Buddha, Portal, Shadow, Blizzard, Venom, Mammoth, or Control, for example. Although not super necessary, having a good fruit to start off with will make your trading experience much easier, especially when you start trading, as it will be easier to make profit and get rich in the early game. You'll also have a much smoother and faster time building up your inventory. And last but not least, you will have a much quicker time learning and getting the hang of it, and eventually mastering the art of trading. Now let's move on to the next step of trading. This is probably the most important part of the video, so lock in. Every fruit in this game has a price value, which is how much a fruit costs in the Blox Fruit dealer. This doesn't really matter for trading, by the way. And every fruit also has a trading value, which is how much the fruit is worth in terms of trading. And this is super important for trading. The easiest way to learn the trading values of every fruit is by going to the website called bloxfruitsvalues.com. Once you have the website loaded up, you can just scroll through and memorize the value of every popular fruit. Once you've been trading for a while, you'll eventually have the values down to muscle memory. Learning the values is a must-have, as it can prevent you from taking a bad trade. And learning the values will give you an idea on what trades you should be looking for, and what trades/offers you should accept. Also, when you're looking at the values of each fruit, right next to the value of the fruit is the demand. Demand is basically how much people want the fruit. The higher the demand is, the more people value and want the fruit. A fruit having a high demand can indirectly add extra value to the fruit, since more people are willing to overpay for it. Overall, if you're new to trading, you should learn the values first, so you're more prepared to trade, and you will prevent yourself from taking bad trades. Now that we've covered the values of the fruits, we shall move on to the next step of trading. If you want to find offers and trades in no time, and you don't want to wait in your seat for hours, then I recommend you use Discord to trade, as it is way easier to find trades and trade there in general. But once you have Discord loaded up, you will need to join some Blox Fruits related servers. But there are 2 Discord servers in particular that I like to trade in. These servers are the official Blox Fruits server, discord.gg Blox Fruits, and the Fantasy World server, discord.gg Fantasy Plays. These are by far my favorite servers to trade in, as I've gotten a lot of good trades and good offers from these 2 servers. But if you want, you can join even more servers. Once you've joined all of the Blox Fruits related servers you want to join, there will most likely be a trading channel. All you have to do is click on that channel, and you can start trading just like that. Now you can start trading if you want. But if you want a trading method that will make you rich, then let's move on to the next part of the video. Before I show you this method, you will need to understand what upgrading and downgrading are. So basically, upgrading is trading multiple fruits for one better fruit that's the same value as your multiple fruits. An example of this is trading Buddha, Rumble, and Blizzard for a Tier X fruit, since none of these fruits are worth as much as the Tier X fruit by themselves. And when you combine all 3 of these fruits, they are worth as much as the Tier X fruit. That's basically what upgrading is. Now I'm finna explain what downgrading is. Downgrading is basically trading one better fruit for multiple worse fruits. It's basically the opposite of upgrading. Now that you know the concept of upgrading and downgrading, I will show what flipping is, and to start flipping, which is the best method for trading fruits. Flipping is basically when you upgrade ideally for cheap, or if it's hard to upgrade for cheap, you can try to upgrade for equal value. And after that, you are going to downgrade for slightly more value. So for example, if I upgraded to Blox Fruit with Buddha, Rumble, and Blizzard, which is an equal value trade by the way. Then after that, I will downgrade my Blox and try to make a profit. Here are some profitable trades/flips that you can downgrade your Blox to. You should try to aim for 1 to 3 million value worth of profit every flip. But overall, that is how you flip your fruits. It may sound complicated at first, but you'll get the hang of it over time.
Now that is the end of the video. Please subscribe as I'm trying to hit 40,000 subscribers. Make sure you comment if you learned something or you want to tell the viewers some tips. While you're at it, you mind as well like the video. Speaking of tips, next video will be tips on trading. Any gays, goodbye.